Why hello YouTube! Greetings from the Lazy Eyebrow Reviewer to Cartoon Carpool, except it's not Cartoon Carpool, because X-Eagle1 isn't here. So, in fact, well, he is here. In fact, here he is pulling up beside me. There he goes! Say goodbye. So I guess this segment is called More Than Meets the Eyebrow, since it's not really Cartoon Carpool. There's another name that Camzilla came up with. Anyways, reasons beyond my control. I'm by myself again today. Anyways, today we watched episode 15, Plague of Insecticons. And in this episode, we get introduced to the... Did I say Plague of Decepticons? I meant Plague of Insecticons. We get introduced to the Insecticons, Bombshell, Shrapnel, and Kickback. Those three, the ones that sound like bugs and are bugs and transform into bugs and are really, really cool. Again, characters, again, I didn't understand the hype around, but I knew they were cool to a lot of people. But, man, they are really cool. Like, in this episode, we get introduced to a lot of their abilities, and, well, I don't really dig the way they talk, but their abilities are really cool. So, anyways, let's get into plot synopsis. They crash-landed years and years and years ago on Earth, in an escape pod. They're Decepticons as well. They're a para-robot, put them as insects for some reason. Insects. Thinking that was a good idea, but it didn't put them at the same size, just, I don't know, we're meant to sell toys. They're smaller, they're about bumblebee size, and they're insects for some reason. And they also consume organic material and turn that into energy. Figure that one out, I guess because they're insects. We gotta keep the theme going. Anyways, the Autobots and the Decepticons find them. The Decepticons start fighting Jetfire, Brawn, Bumblebee, and I think Windcharger. Oh, and Trailbreaker was there too. And then the Autobots are called in, Optimus, Sunstreaker, Sideswipe, and so on are called in from a different part of the Earth, and they're on their way type thing, and then they start fighting, and lots of fighting, and then they go to an oil refinery because apparently there's fuel there for the Insecticons to consume, and then there's a whole bunch more fighting, some stupid stuff happens, and we're left with the Insecticons and Decepticons at odds with each other, but Wheeljack theorizes that they're both Decepticons, they'll make up, or we haven't seen the last of either of them. So that's been that episode. It's a pretty good episode, I will give it that. Again, we get to see a lot of abilities, we get to see their personalities, we get the Decepticon numbers boosted, because so far it's been 6 plus 5 versus, what, 30 of the Autobots? So it's nice to see their numbers get boosted a bit. I really like the abilities that they have. Bombshell gets that cloning thing. Shrapnel gets... What does he get? It feels like... Oh, shoot. That fell over. My bad. Third gear. Anyways, it feels like, Shrapnel gets 2 abilities. I don't exactly know what Kickback's ability is, because it looks like Shrapnel was the one that was using the mind control and the clone mind control, as well as Shrapnel gets that bomb that explodes and has like a billion pieces and fragments come out of it that Windcharger repels with his magnets, and that was pretty cool. But it doesn't really... What is Kickback's ability? I don't actually know. Other than I think he's the leader. Beyond that, what happened? Yeah. So good things. Good stuff about the episode. Everything I just said about the Insecticons. They were the coolest part. Stupid things. There were a lot of stupid things in this episode. For instance, they come across a bunch of protesters saying you can't go this way to the Autobots. So the Autobots, instead of saying, oh hey, maybe we should just jump over them, or climb a mountain over them, or go around them, Sideswipe, in all his infinite wisdom, said, hey, we should tunnel underneath them, because I have pile drivers, so why not? Wow. There was a... The vehicle tracks was just past that way. It was pretty cool. So yeah, they start digging. It takes them about 4 hours to go through a small rock, because it's only Sideswipe who has his ability to dig through. Until Optimus says, oh, forget it, out of my way, and just plows through solid rock. I think that was just meant as a plot device to keep them out of the fight for a bit, because that was stupid beyond stupid. The other stupid thing was while they're at the oil refinery, they start having this fight with an oil tanker, and Megatron and Optimus both pick up a giant oil tanker while they're swimming. Somehow their feet have this ability to swim, keep them airborne, and throw an entire tanker. Like, that's dumb. That's very, very dumb. Otherwise, though, it was a really good episode. I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed the silliness of it. I enjoyed learning about some of the abilities of the Insecticons, and just all around, it's a good episode. What would I rate it? Let's go... We'll go 4 out of 5 Menasor. Yeah, you know what? Menasaur's missing drag strip. That's what I rate this episode. Because, you know, otherwise it was a pretty good episode. Anyways, that's been that review of episode 15. Yeah, episode 15. We're almost done season 1. We have one more episode to go to, and I know I love this one. Because I've seen it so many times before, and I cannot wait for tomorrow. And we're going to review that one. Alright, this has been Lazy Eye Reviewer. See you tomorrow.